People from all over the world come to Kenya to marvel at its beauty, both of Kenya's landscapes and its wildlife. Kenya is home to more than 20,000 different animal species that live from its snow-capped mountains to the iconic savannas of the Masai Mara. With all of this natural beauty comes the responsibility to protect its majestic creatures from today's significant threats: habitat loss, animal poaching, and human-wildlife conflict. Many wild elephants in Kenya and across Africa have endured decades of abuse and trauma.
Some of them have seen their mothers being killed by poachers. Some of them, they have encountered fights with human beings fighting for space. So in their mind, they know that human beings are dangerous. In some cases, we have got challenges. To all of them, when they come in, they are traumatized, they are stressed. And if an elephant is stressed beyond, there is nothing that you can do. There's no medicine for that. So some of them, we will lose them, which is very heartbreaking. We want them all to survive.
There are people who have dedicated their lives to saving as many elephants as possible and one day returning them back to their home in Kenya's wild. The staff at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust has spent decades rescuing orphaned elephants that have been stressed and traumatized and slowly helping them heal.
This is a Nkesha with the broken trunk.
3-year-old Nkesha is a poaching victim. She has a hole in the right side of her trunk. She was found in 2017 in Kenya's Mara Triangle with a tight snare wrapped around her trunk. The young elephant likely got entangled in a snare meant to illegally catch another kind of wild animal for game meat. By the time keepers got to Nkesha to rescue her, her trunk had been almost entirely severed.
When the wound was still fresh, she used to go down on her front knees if she wanted to take water, then take it direct with the mouth. It was a challenge if the level of the water was deep. She had to put like the whole head for her to reach to the level of the water.
It took 3 hours of surgery, antibiotics, and several months of patience, but now Nkesha's wound has healed a great deal. Elephant game and trophy hunting has been illegal in Kenya since 1977. Kenya saw a surge in illegal poaching for ivory in 2012, fueled by international demand in East and Southeast Asia. Kenya's government took significant legal action and made other conservation efforts, and it's made a difference. The number of elephants poached for their tusks has dropped every year since then. Poverty and unemployment has also led people, particularly in rural areas, to illegally hunt wildlife for food. It can be difficult to track just how much this occurs, especially on land outside of protected areas. Nkesha has shown incredible resilience after her trunk injury from a snare. Through it all, her caretakers make sure to show her lots of love.
Okay, let's split. You get one, okay?
Loving these young orphaned elephants is what keepers like Julius do best. He's an elephant keeper here at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Kenya, a nonprofit that rescues elephant orphans that wouldn't survive on their own in the wild. Their Nairobi nursery is for elephants that are 3 years old and younger who need formula milk to survive. These young orphaned elephants live with their keepers in the Nairobi National Park.
Our main goal and our main target, it is to rescue them all and be able to give them that second chance of surviving back to nature.
Julius is an elephant keeper at the Nairobi nursery. Few people understand the sacrifice and commitment keepers like Julius make to ensure these elephants stay healthy and safe. Just outside of Kenya's busy capital city is Nairobi National Park. More than 45 square miles of protected area where wild animals from lions to warthogs roam freely. Not only do the young orphaned elephants at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust live alongside the wildlife at their Nairobi nursery, they live side by side with their human keepers. Julius has been a keeper here for the last 13 years.
It is a call. We don't do this because of money. We have dedicated our lives to these animals, and it is not everybody who can do it. A few will make it. And that will depend on your relationship with the elephants. You have to love them, and they know how to repay it. They know how to love you back. Just give them that love, be affection to them, giving them that passion they need, and they will pay you back. They know how to appreciate you.
Do you love them?
I do love them.
The elephant keepers at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust's Nairobi nursery work around the clock to help these orphaned elephants.
I always consider them as my second family. But when we come back to reality, they become to be my first family, because I have my own human family. My family lives quite a long distance, over 400 kilometers away from Nairobi, where I am now. On a daily basis, I'm with the elephants, night and day. The whole night, I'm with them. I've got less time with my family compared to the time in a year I spend with the elephants. So that's why I say in reality, I might look at them as my first family, because I sleep elephants, I woke up elephants, I spend elephants all the time. My life is with the elephants.
Julius is not exaggerating. The keepers are like human surrogate mothers. He and the other keepers stay with the elephants 24/7, even sleeping in stables next to them every night.
Every 3 hours in the night and in the day, they need the milk. So the keeper has to be there in the night. One, to make sure that they're fed on the bottle after every 3 hours. Secondly, we are there to keep them company. We are like their surrogate mothers. We need to make sure that when they go down to sleep, they're well covered with the blankets. Some individuals, if you happen like walk out of their rooms in the middle of the night, they scream, they yell, they come looking for you. They consider the keepers as their guardians, their mothers, and you can tell by that connection how important the keepers are to them.
These elephants need 24 liters of formula milk a day, and they're fed every 3 hours to make sure they get enough. In the wild, elephants get milk from their mothers until they turn about the age of 3. But the orphaned elephants at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust needed an alternative milk to survive. Cow's milk doesn't work for baby elephants. It took a pioneer of the trust 28 years to perfect this innovative milk formula. It turned out to be similar to human infants' formula. For Kesha, drinking milk with the help of keepers is easy. Eating and drinking water is back to normal too, with a small workaround.
When she's sucking water as well, you can carry it well, because she goes like fold the trunk to close that hole, and then she sucks it. But when she plows it in the mouth, you can see it open, much open, yeah. Gosh. Here, have this. Can I help you? Can I? Here. Cute girl.
But another elephant in this herd has a little more difficulty drinking from the bottle.
Her name is Siwadi.
Ziwadi was found in the Masai Mara in April 2019 with a wound from an arrow. She was wandering alone, approaching anyone who was nearby.
found all alone in a very pathetic state. And we do not know for sure what had happened to her family, nor the mother. And being alone at that age of about a year old, this confirms that something serious might have happened to her mother.
The first thing the keepers do is observe a distressed elephant wherever it is in the wild. Their goal is to always keep elephants with their herd, if at all possible.
We don't just go in and capture or rescue them. First of all, we will need to confirm that it is an orphan, the family is not around, because sometimes some of them would have been separated from their families by human beings, and by good chance, maybe the family is within the location. So that is what has to be confirmed before we can fly in the baby.
Ziwadi's mother could not be found, so Ziwadi was transported to the Nairobi nursery. She has been slow to socialize with the rest of the young elephants here.
This confirms that she might have been all alone for a very long time. And when she came in, she has always tried to keep herself isolated from the rest of the group. She just wants to be of herself. We keep on trying to push her back to the group so that she is also used to the group. This will make her feel part of that family.
Some of the elephants take no time to warm up to their new environment in the Nairobi National Park. In her own time, Ziwadi will grow comfortable with her new family of elephants and keepers.
Sawati is coming to say hi. Hi, Sawati.
Julia says it's the keeper's job to love each elephant equally so no one elephant gets too attached to any particular keeper. They quickly learn what each elephant needs in order to feel loved.
You might see one like coming in, just wanting a cuddle, wanting to stay close to me. Some will just come very close to you. That body touch, they just wants to stay close to you the way they would have been doing with their mothers back into the world. And they give you their trunk, they want to smell you, they like grab your hand, they want to suck your fingers, they want to prove or confirm that togetherness with you. I love them all. I love them all. Yes, they are all born of different personalities. They're naughty ones, they're obedient ones, they're such loving ones. So they vary from one elephant to the other, but they all have to be loved. Even the naughty ones in our family, we do love our kids who are naughty, who are cheeky, mischievous, all those kind of characters that we see or experience in human beings are also found within our baby orphaned elephants.
Many of these little elephants love showing off their big personalities.
When I stretched my hand, he accepted. He gave a rumble, appreciation rumble. The trumpeting in elephants has got lots of meaning. They can rumble when they're not happy about something or when they're complaining about something. They can trumpet when they're warning danger or alerting the member of the group that there is danger. They can trumpet when they are happy, singing, playing, trumpeting, and doing all sorts of things. So all those sounds have got meanings. Elephants are very intelligent. They can read your heart. They can tell if you mean good to them. Having been desperate, having been so all alone for quite long, and then you come in that you want to give them that second chance of surviving back to life, then they will automatically, right away, accept you.
The elephants form unique bonds with the keepers and with other elephants. Some of these elephant friendships that began at the Nairobi nursery will last a lifetime. But as these elephants grow older and become ready for the next step in the reintegration process, some of these relationships must change with it. Lugard's disfigured leg is the result of a bullet wound. He likely had the injury for a week or two before he was rescued. By the time he was found, his leg was swollen and infected.
This is where the bullet went through, right in the middle of the knee. You can see there is this scar right here, and it went through there to the other side. So the whole knee was shattered. As I said, he's a very gentle boy.
Lugard was rescued in an inaccessible area near Kenya's Galana River. Once keepers were able to take a closer look, they realized Lugard had been shot in the knee and foot. Without any care, he likely would have died.
If you look at the spine, it's like crooked or bent, and then he's leaning on the broken side leg.
Yeah, he doesn't like to put weight on it.
Yeah, he doesn't put much weight on it. It's only when he's like walking so fast, it is when you will find him trying to put some weight on that leg. I think that he wouldn't do before. When the wound was still healing, he wasn't applying any weight on that leg. But right now when he runs, you can see him putting some weight on that leg.
Lugard has come a long way from his initial injury, but he will always walk with this limp. He's a gentle guy who's usually the slowest of the elephants at the Nairobi nursery, often bringing up the rear of the herd. The keepers let him go at his own pace.
He knows his condition, and that is why he stays behind, and we let him do what he wants to do. When we are out here, sometimes the other elephants wants to walk deep into the forest. He wants to stay behind. We allow him to do that. Then we'll keep like one keeper staying behind with him so there's something that doesn't happen to him.
Lugard is a victim of human-wildlife conflict, a growing concern for conservation activists in Kenya and around the world. Human-wildlife conflict is described as the moments when people and animals live near each other and begin competing for resources like food, water, and land. Competition for these resources can lead to retaliation against wild animals.
Elephants are vulnerable. They're the most affected by the fact that they need larger space. They need lots of food. They need to keep on migrating from one place to the other in search of green pasture. As you understand, the human population is growing so fast, and just because of the poor management over the wildland, and a few people are the ones who are concerned about wild animals. So many of those people who don't even mind about their wild animals.
As cities expand and more land is developed for farms, elephants face increased risks for clashes with people. Drought and other changes in climate intensify the issue. Early in 2019, the Kenya Wildlife Service announced that a dry spell meant wild animals were leaving their natural habitats in search of food and water in other places, leading to more opportunities for human-wildlife conflict. For years, conservation organizations and government officials focused on eradicating illegal elephant poaching, and these efforts have helped. But now human-wildlife conflict has become a growing concern. Even though Lugard has a permanent limp, the staff at Sheldrick Wildlife Trust believe one day Lugard will grow to live freely in a forest meant to reintegrate orphaned elephants like him into the wild. But he may not be able to wander as much as migrating elephants typically roam.
He goes to say hi to his friend Lugard.
Lugard has made a close friend with one of the larger elephants at the Nairobi nursery. Joto and Lugard are both 3 years old, but Joto takes pride in looking out for Lugard, just like an older brother.
He knows the Lugard's condition. and he can walk, follow the other group. After a few minutes, he will run back to check on Lugard. Is Lugard okay? Is he coming? And sometimes you might find him like trying to push him. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So they care about each one of the family member.
Joto is a big boy, and in a few days from this moment, he graduated from the Nairobi nursery and moved to a reintegration unit, a remote area in the northern part of Tsavo East National Park. This new location is the next phase in an orphaned elephant's journey before heading back into a protected wildlife area and eventually joining a wild herd. When Lugard is ready to graduate from the Nairobi nursery, he will head to Sheldrick Wildlife Trust's reintegration unit for elephants with disabilities.
And in his case, he will be sent to the one special rehab unit, which is within Kibwezi Forest. We call it Umani. This rehab unit will always accommodate elephants with disabilities like this of Lugard. It is kind of a forest. They have got plenty of food. They don't have got so many wild elephants within the area. They don't have to go everywhere looking for food. The food is right there. And being less populated with other wild elephants, it is advantage to our elephants or our orphans with some physical challenges.
When it's time to drink his formula milk, Lugard is all hustle.
Can hold you.
He may have a gentle nature, but just like all the other orphaned elephants here, he has a strong determination to live a full, happy life.
But we don't, stop there. We will keep on doing the work until we see all of them having that chance of living back to nature.
Sheldrick Wildlife Trust has successfully raised more than 200 elephants, with more than 110 now living fully independent lives. Julius and his colleagues are hopeful that one day all of these young elephants here at the Nairobi nursery will join the others in Kenya's wild.